Hey guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to my video of me talking about my favorite and least favorite player of each season of Survivor. I'm surprised I've never done this. I've never done this video before. I've done so many Survivor videos about like my favorite winners, top 10 ranking winners, tier ranking of winners, my favorite seasons. I did things I would want to change in Survivor. I did like Dreamcasts and Survivor news, but I've never talked about my favorite players before, which is interesting. So I'm going to do it for every season. My favorite and least favorite player from Survivor Borneo all the way to 43. Can't do the current season because it's not over yet. But yeah, let's get to it. This is my personal opinion. It's not even who I think is the best player. It's just my favorite players. Whether they can be good strategic players or they can just be fun characters I just really loved watching. So, favorite players every season. Let's start with Borneo. My favorite player is probably Rudy. Even though Hatch is the best player of the season and he does win, Rudy is my favorite, though. I love his attitude. I like his conversations with Rich. I kind of like that he has development in the show. I think he was the easy victor if he went to the final two, if it was with Hatch or Wigglesworth. But I loved Rudy. I really, really enjoyed him. Least favorite is Sean. I think Sean was a kind of a joke of a player. I don't think he took I don't think he took the show or the game seriously. I think he was a bit of a doofus, especially with his alphabetical name writing. I thought that was just idiotic, and I think he was my least favorite player. All right, so Australian Outback now. Um, I'll go Tina Westman. When I was younger, when I watched it, it was Colby, but watching it second and third time, I appreciate Tina's game a lot more, and I think she's like a very kind and sweet like person on the show. I love her relationship with Elizabeth. I like Roger as well too. But Colby, I used to love, but I really don't care for him that much now. But Tina Westman, I really enjoy her. My least favorite is Scoopin'. You all know why. But I'll admit, even when I watched the Australian Outback when it came out, I never was big on Scoopin'. I know a lot of people thought Scoopin' was gonna win if he made it all the way to the end. I really don't. I think a lot of people saw him as like a joke of a character, so I don't know. Africa, easy Lex. Lex is my favorite. I think this was his game to win, man. Like if he made to that end with Ethan or Kim Johnson, he wins the game. I really enjoy Lex. I like what's her name? T-Bird. I like her too, but Lex, my favorite this season. He was a really good, savvy player. My least favorite, I don't remember a lot of people, but Silas. Yeah. Silas. I think Silas. Next, Marquises. Kathy. Kathy's my favorite. I love Kathy. I think this is also her season to win. If she goes to the end with Nelia or Vesepia, she wins. I really, really enjoyed Kathy. I think she had a really spectacular social game. And I really love her, man. She just seems like a really cool person. Least favorite, I would say the first boot, Peter. I think Peter was just a dud on the show, so yeah, Peter. Alright, Thailand, the worst fucking season. The worst season ever. I will go Brian, though, as my favorite because even though he's a complete psychopath, he does play the game very well, and I just don't see anyone else worthy winning other than him. So, and it's funny, my least favorite is Clay, the runner-up. I absolutely hate Clay. I think he's very weird and kind of perverted. Just, I don't know, something about Clay is, I really don't like him. He gives me the creeps. It's not a huge Clay fan. The Amazon, easy, Rob Cesternino. Rob Cesternino, I think he was like ahead of his game. Like he was way ahead of anyone in the game of Survivor. How he played strategically and how he built alliances and flip flopping. I think he just had a lot of knowledge in the game of Survivor. So yeah, my least favorite probably was it Roger the Roger the misogynist dude. Yeah, I'd go with him. Pearl Islands, one of my favorite seasons. I love Pearl Islands. There's a lot of players I enjoy in Pearl Islands. I'm going to go with Johnny Fairplay, man. I like Johnny Fairplay. I think he's a fun character. I think if he goes to the end with Lil, he does win the game. I do like Savage and Rupert, but I really enjoy Johnny Fairplay. And my least favorite is Lil. Lil is a terrible, terrible player. And she loses no matter who she goes with in the end. And she was boring television. Sandra's boring television too, but Lil is a whole new level of boring television. Next is All Stars, and there's a lot of great players, but in the All Star season, Boston Rob was my favorite player. I think he played a solid game. I think he played almost a perfect game. I think he was a little lacking on his jury management, but I still think he played a great, savvy, strategic game and a great physical game. And I think his romance with Amber is actually very sweet and very touching. I really enjoy it. My least favorite in the All Star season, I don't know. I really don't know, actually. Actually, I think I'm going to go with Alicia. Because I kind of get Lex's bitterness, but Alicia's bitterness is a little strange because she doesn't seem like she was even friends with Rob. And I hated her jury speech. I thought she was just kind of just a bitter jackass. And I don't know, I never really liked Alicia. Even in Australian Outback, I never really liked her. Vanuatu, easy. Chris, the winner. Chris, I love that he was the only guy left, and he somehow managed to pull it out in the end. Fucking badass. Love Chris. I think his final jury performance is really good. My least favorite, I don't know. I might have to go with Scout, because Scout is just really boring. I don't have nothing against Scout, but I just think Scout is just boring television. I don't think she has any relevance in the show, so I guess I'll go Scout as my least favorite. Palau, great season. I have two favorites. They're almost a tie. Really, I love both these players, but I might actually go Ian. I know I love Tom Westman. I think he's a great winner, but I love Steph too, though. Steph's good too, though. I'll go Ian, because if I was on that jury and Ian made it to the final two, I'd vote for him, because I think he's more of a risky player, and I like that he takes more strategic risks. Tom plays it a lot more safe. Least favorite, Janu. I think Janu is just, I don't know what the fuck she was even doing out there, so I'll go Janu. Guatemala, I don't. See, I can go player-wise or character-wise. I'll go Rafe. I liked Rafe, actually. Even though Rafe had no chance of winning, I still really enjoyed him. I think he did have a good knowledge of the game. And I really enjoy. I love Judd as a character. He's very fun. But I'm going to go Rafe and Lydia as my least. Lydia is just, the fact that she made it to 4th place is insane to me. Lydia is my least favorite. Then we got Panama, Exile Island. Terry. Terry's my favorite. I was rooting for Terry in the end. I wish he won out and became the most physical dominant player in all the Game of Survivor, but now he got beat out at 3. That sucks. I love Shane as well. I think Shane's very entertaining as well, but Terry is my favorite. Least favorite, I think Courtney. Well, Courtney can be kind of fun as a character. I'll go Danielle. I think she's a dud. Let's go Danielle. Cook Islands, the winner, Yul Kwan. I love Yul. I love Jonathan Penner as well, but Yul is my favorite. I love Yul. Really, really fucking love him. He's one of the most smartest, intelligent, strategic players to play the game. Least favorite, I don't know. You know what? I'm not really big on Candace. I'm not a huge Candace fan. I like Candace. I'm really not a fan of her. Let's go Candace. Fiji. I'm going to go with the winner, Earl. I think Earl is a solid player. I think he played a solid game, and yeah, I think he's very deserving of that win. He's the first one to jury sweep. So yeah, Earl, and easily my least favorite, Lacey. Lacey is fucking terrible. No. Ugh. I'm glad they kind of humiliate her in the edits. It's kind of funny. Spire China, my favorite is also the winner, Todd. I think Todd is a great player, and he's a savvy player, and I'm really glad he won the game. Least favorite, Denise. Can't stand her. Can't stand her. Denise is my least favorite. Micronesia. My favorite's the winner again. Poverty. I think Poverty is one of the best female winners. Love her. Least favorite. Honestly, I was not an Alexis fan. I thought she was annoying. She kind of annoyed me. I know Chet is an easy answer, but I'm not an Alexis fan, so I might say Alexis. Gabon. Gabon had some fun characters. I'm going to go Maddie. I think Maddie had a good, good head on his shoulders. I think he knew the game very well. I also really enjoyed, what was his name? Marcus. And Randy and Corinne are fun characters, but I'm going Maddie. I think Maddie played a good game, even though he didn't win. Least favorite is Susie. The fact that she also got, second place is just dreadful. I think Susie is a terrible, terrible player. Never liked watching her. Tokatins, one of my favorite seasons. A lot of great characters. Love Tyson, Coach, and Steven Fishback, but JT, the winner, is my favorite. I love him. I think he plays a great game. He never gets a vote against him. He jury sweeps. He played the game so well that people were they wanted to throw their games for him. So, yeah. Least favorite, Sierra. Yeah. She's too whiny for me. Samoa. It's easy. Russell Hands. Everyone knows I'm a Russell Hands fan. Yeah, I know. Some people aren't. I am. I'm a Russell Hands fan. My least favorite is probably Ben Browning. You all know why. I think he was a bit of a dirty player, so Ben Browning. Heroes versus Villains. My favorite player in Heroes vs. Villains, even though he did it to himself and lost because of himself, I still say Russell Hantz. I think he was the most entertaining of the season. I think he played the best strategic game, even though his social game was one of the worst I've ever seen. He was still fun to watch, and I was still rooting for him, even though I knew he was going to lose. My least favorite player, honestly, that season was Colby. I think Colby was unwatchable in that season. I know he was like a fan favorite, but after his Heroes vs. Villains, people just didn't give a fuck about him. I think he was unwatchable in that season. Alright, Nicaragua, Marty. I loved Marty. I rooted for Marty. I think he was great. I think if he made it near the ending, I think he would have won, but he just didn't have the numbers on his side, which sucks, but I enjoyed Marty. Least favorite, Purple Kelly. She was non-existent in the game, so it's Purple Kelly. Next is Redemption Island. Boston Rob again. Boston Rob. Perfect game. Completely controlled and dominated that whole game. Boston Rob all the way. My least favorite player is Ralph. There's a pair. Those like a huge difference. Like Boston Rob, who knows the game, and then Ralph, who knows nothing about the game. So yeah, Ralph is probably my least favorite player. South Pacific, I'm gonna go Coach. I really enjoyed Coach this season. I think he played a solid game. He lost because he didn't own his game up, and that was the disappointing part. Actually, just it sucks. And my least favorite player was probably Brandon Hance, Russell's nephew. I think he cried too much on the show. He was too whiny. He kept trying so hard to undo the wrongs of Russell, but I don't know. I think he played a terrible game. I just didn't like him. One World, Kim. Easy, Kim. She's a great player. She was the only good player that season, and she dominated. This was like Redemption Island for Boston Rob. This was that for Kim. She played with really dumb players and won the game easily. My least favorite player, there's a lot. There's a lot of players I hated. I hated Colton a lot. Alicia a lot. Leaf and Tarzan. I gotta go Colton because I think he's a despicable piece of shit, so I'll go Colton. But there's a lot of players I hated that season. Philippines, Malcolm. No. Penner was my favorite. I was rooting for Penner. Even though I enjoyed Malcolm. Least favorite, Scoopin again. You all know why I hate Scoopin. I fucking hate him. Can't stand him. Karen Owen is the winner. John Cochran. John Cochran is a great player this season. He played that game so fucking good. Again, he played like JT. He didn't get a vote against him. Jury swept. Dominated physically, strategically, socially. I think he did a great job. Least favorite, Sherry. You can tell in the final tribal council, Sherry had no idea what the fuck she was doing. So, Sherry. Couldn't stand her. Blood versus Water is the winner. Tyson. Even though I really liked Hayden and Sierra, but Tyson. Tyson played a fucking great game. Least favorite player. I'm running through the players now. I don't know. I guess Rupert's wife, Laura. I thought she was a dud, so I'll go with her. Kageyama, Tony. Fucking Tony. Easily Tony. Love Tony. One of my favorite winner of all time. Tony. And he was a great character in that season. My least favorite player. I actually loved a lot of players. Even like the villainous players I enjoyed. They were just entertaining to watch. I guess... Actually, I'll go Morgan. I thought Morgan was just a brat of a kid. She was kind of like a spoiled little brat. I didn't like her. Sandoval Delcer. I'll go with the winner, Natalie Anderson. I thought she was a really good player. I think she was deserving of that win. I also loved Jeremy and Reed. But yeah. My least favorite player was Missy. Couldn't stand her. Baylor is close. I didn't like Baylor either, but Missy couldn't stand her. Worlds Apart, Mike Holloway, one of my favorite winners. Do the happy dance. Do the happy dance. This is a great like Cinderella story. Like it's like a season full of assholes, and like the one good guy wins. It's like that was Mike. Yeah, he had a win out, but I don't give a fuck. He's amazing. Least favorite, Dan. Fucking hated Dan. God, the mouth on that guy. Couldn't stand him. Second Chance, Cambodia. The winner, Jeremy Collins. I loved him. I think he played a great game. Wentworth is really good, and I actually enjoyed Spencer and Fishbag as well, but Jeremy Collins, easily my favorite player. Least favorite, Abby Marie. She's annoying. Really fucking annoying. She would have been my least if she didn't play with Scoopin', but in Philippines. But yeah. Korong, my favorite. Ty. I love Ty. Ty's great. I would have voted for him at the end. I think he made ballsy moves, and just, I love him. He's a great personality. I also love Scott and Jason, though. My least favorite... Honestly, I'm not a Neil fan. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him. I know some people like him, but not a big fan. Millennials versus Gen X. David. David was my favorite player. I was rooting for him. Really wanted him to get to the final three. He did not. We got Adam jury sweep, sadly. I love Jay as well. Jay's really cool, too. But, yeah. My least favorite player... I don't know, really. I guess... Will? I think Will was a kind of a useless player. I guess I'll go Will. There's no one I really hated in Millennials vs. Gen X, but I guess I'll go Will. Game Changers... Sarah, the winner. Favorite. Least favorite, Jeff Varner. you all know why, so. Alright, moving on. HHH, Devin. Devin was my favorite. He was the player I was rooting for. The twist really fucked him out of his win. But I still enjoy Ben, but I like Devin the most. Devin was my favorite. Least favorite, Patrick. Patrick was annoying. Couldn't stand him. Ghost Island, Dominic. Dominic was my favorite. I was rooting for Dominic the whole time, so yeah, fucking Dominic all the way. Least favorite, Laurel. It's one of the most boring players to fucking watch. David versus Goliath, Christian. Loved Christian, loved his dorkiness. I loved how like savvy he was, intelligent he was. He was just a great character. I loved a lot of people. Actually, in David vs. Goliath, I liked Nick, Mike, Allison. I enjoyed. I didn't mind Davey. I liked what's his name, Carl. Carl was cool. But I like Christian. I like Christian a lot. My least favorite, Angelina. I fucking can't stand her. I know, like she's a fun character. But I didn't like her. Couldn't stand her. Edge of Extinction, Rick Devens. I think Rick Devens played the best game. He was cool. Least favorite, the winner, Chris. Island of the Idols. Island of the Idols. I think my favorite player was Tommy. I think Tommy played a pretty solid game because he won without using an idol or any strat. He didn't need to win a challenge, use idols or advantages. He used just his social game and his wits. That's pretty clever. I'll give him that. My least favorite, I know everyone's gonna say Dan, but that's, I don't know, because the stuff with Dan, you don't know what happened. I don't know. Let's go with Dan. Why not? Let's go Dan. Winners at War. Favorite player, Tony. Easy. Least favorite, Sandra. She quit the game. That's not a true winner to me. Sorry. It's not a real winner. Dare you, Sandra. Overrated. 41, my favorite player was Xander. I think Xander played a really great game, but that jury just was never going to vote for him, sadly. My least favorite is Shan. I can't stand her. She put a lot of identity politics in the season, and that was really annoying. So, Shan. 42, my favorite player was the runner-up, Mike. I really enjoyed Mike. I like Jonathan as well, but I really liked Mike. Mike. Everybody wants to be like Mike. My least favorite, Romeo. An invisible person in the show who somehow made it to the final 3. 43, last season. Really, really loved this season. There was a lot of characters I loved, actually. I loved Jesse. I liked the winner, Gabler, Owen, Sammy, but Cody was my favorite, man. I loved him as a character, loved him as a player. I was rooting for him the whole fucking way. Loved Cody. Least favorite player, I kind of go Lindsay. I think Lindsay is just a clueless player who has no idea what she was doing in the game, and she basically got herself out of the game, so it's fun. That's pretty funny. And there we go. That's it. I can't do this season yet because it's not over, but that was my favorite and least favorite player of every season of Survivor. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite and least favorite player of all the seasons of Survivor? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.